I mean, listen, I'll say this. At least the Mavericks gave us a half of competitive basketball, unlike the Sixers. At least it was interesting for a half until the Suns went on that 17-0 run in the third quarter, found their other gear, and pulled away from the Mavericks to take that 3-2 series lead back to Dallas. The shenanigans, the shenanigans was probably better than the game. Not to mention the altercation between Chris and Biombo in the hallway after both were ejected.
Come on now.
With a few seconds left. So it was still spicy, even though the game was, I think it was a 28-point lead at the time when all hell broke loose there. But anyway, Suns broke free. Marc J. Spears from Anscape is here with us now. We were talking about this earlier. I'll combine last night's results. They were both blowout Spears. We were talking about this earlier. This playoffs, if nothing else, has reminded, if not taught some of us, not to overreact to one game. We've seen teams trade blowouts and series shifts between a game or two or venues far too often to say that either the Heat Sixers or Suns Mavericks series is over. However, what do you think? Did the Heat have this? Did the Suns have this after what they put on their opponents last night?
Well, if you look at the Mavericks Suns series, like nobody's won on the road yet, right? So it's gone par for the course. I actually thought in that series after the first two games that the Suns would sweep. One of the Suns players after the second game told me, he's like, man, the Mavs don't even play hard. And I bought into that. I canceled a ticket to go to Dallas. You know, yeah, this is over. So the Suns, like, to me, are the better team. We saw that yesterday. I don't know what's going on once they get into that Texas heat, you know, what's going on with that. But they got to finish it up because the Warriors are in a position now to finish it up and get some much-needed rest and, you know, stop playing games with the Mavericks and get it over with so they can get some rest as well. I think that's going to be a key for the Warriors if they could get it done tonight is, like, all these teams are getting beat up, man. None of these series are short. And they have a chance to finish it in five. So they need to do it. I mean, Clay needs the rest. Steph needs the rest. They're down to 12 players, and they need any little advantage they could get on Phoenix. Can the Mavericks get back and win it? Even if it takes 7 games, I think the Suns, you know, will get it done. But they need to get it done because there's a team in San Francisco that certainly is ready to go after them. In terms of the other side, man, Philly is that box of chocolate teams, man. I don't know.
Did anybody text you last night and tell you that they don't play hard? That's what I'm waiting for somebody to tell you that. Like, what about Philadelphia?
I can't figure them out, man. I don't know what you're going to get from them from a nightly basis. They'll fool around and win the next game. Like, they just they're really, really hard to tell. You know, obviously Embiid has his injury issues, and we don't know what James Harden is going to give you from one game to the next. They're probably the most confusing team left in the playoffs. I really don't know what to expect from them from one game to another.
I want to go back for a second. Just tell me about the psyche, just from your observation and your reporting of the Phoenix Suns. I mean, if you think about it, Mark, they won 14 playoff games last year. I mean, the ultimate is 16, but they won 14 playoff games. They were up 2-0 in the finals, and then they got overwhelmed by Giannis and the Bucks. Do you think that part of the reason they've been a little casual at times or just not as on it as we'd expect them to be is they still look back and they call back to, hey, we were right there last year. So we got this. We were there. And we expect to be back. You think there's a little bit of unfortunate hangover from last year?
No, I mean, and I think it's because that guy is showing right there. He certainly has them focused. They had one bad game, I guess 2, but one in particular in Dallas where Chris got in foul trouble, got 4 early ones, and that threw everything off. That messed their heads up. And I wonder, on the Mother's Day game, with what was going on with his mom and his family, like, how early did he find out about that? Was that a distraction to the team? Because it's weird how different they are from playing in Phoenix to playing in Dallas. This is, Luka's made some interesting comments, but Phoenix, man, this is a different Phoenix team. This is a team that I actually thought at the start of the playoffs was the best in the league and has the ability to be the best in the league. They are better than the team that was in the finals. More experience, more confident, size. Everybody knows their role. Chris Paul picks it up in the fourth quarter. Book is sensational offensively, and we got to give Ayton more credit for the type of player that he's become after being number one. But this lack of consistency in this series starting to get me a waiver a little bit about my confidence in them.
Going back to the Warriors-Grizzlies series, it's like that could easily be 2-2. I mean, the Warriors didn't lead for the first time until the 48th minute, and that was without Ja Morant and his 47 points in the previous game.
I talked to one of my boys from Memphis. Like, you talk to somebody in the Bay, they'll say Warriors could have won this already, and then people in Memphis could say 2-2. So there's a lot of ways you can look at this series.
Well, there was a lot of ways to look at the Ja Morant injury, which, come to find out, is a bone bruise and is going to keep him out for the remainder of the playoffs, which is unfortunate for everybody. But looking at it through the prism of Jordan Poole did something dirty, a lot of people owe Jordan Poole an apology. I'm glad I at least saw at the beginning the side angle showed that he grazed it. Who, Taylor Jenkins?
Yeah.
Taylor Jenkins? Yeah, but it's really unfortunate that Jordan Poole had to defend himself. And he wasn't responsible for Ja Morant suffering a bone bruise. But now Ja Morant is out. I also want to give some love. You profiled T. Morant, his dad, who it's been fun watching him courtside. The Usher doppelganger stuff has been cool, but it's not fun in games when it comes to his role in Ja's life and the father that he is. So we'd love to get your thoughts if Ja's season is in fact done, if the Grizzlies are in fact done, just on what he's accomplished as most improved player, controversially, but nonetheless, most improved player this year, the Grizzlies, their progression, but also this father-son relationship that we've been treated to seeing up close between Ja and T. Morant.
No, I mean, Ja Morant has arrived as one of the elite superstars in the world. I expect him to continue not only to be that kind of superstar player, but the aura of him on a commercial level, on the international level, to be bigger and bigger. He has a personality that's perfect for commercials. So get used to seeing a lot of Ja Morant, man, which is like great for Memphis. And I think his jersey sales, he's 9 right now. That's going to jump in terms of social media in images. He reigns supreme in this playoff so far. Nobody else is close to him. So we are seeing basically the birth of something special. And he earned every bit of it this year with his electric ability, his high rising ability, his big game heroics. And another thing about him that I've learned actually a lot from his father told me this is his basketball IQ is sensational. It's one of the top in the league. There are times in games where Jaren Jackson will turn to him and say, "What do you see?" And he'll give him a breakdown. You know, he and the coach talk all the time about strategy. And so he's just a future star who my only worry for him is those knees, man. Like, man, I understand the Grizzlies, saying it's done for him. There's too much bright future ahead to risk anything. And as far as dad is concerned, just an amazing guy who I got to meet on draft night or around draft time, who loves his son unconditionally. He told me he would take a bullet for his son, take his life for his son if he had to. And hey, man, I know when I was in high school, when my dad was able to get out of work because he worked nights and come to my games, that's when I had my best games, man. To have that support courtside is beautiful, it's special. And we hear so many times, like, you two guys, man, you're phenomenal fathers who just happen to be black. And we always talk about how these guys don't have no father figures in their life. You know, it's all about mom, and they come from these broken homes. When you watch the NBA draft now, keep an eye on it, because every year now, dad is next to him. Dad is in their life. That old hard luck story is fewer and fewer. And so I love the love he showers his son, and, you know, and the way he may dance or whatever, or be with celebrities. And so what, man? He's enjoying the fruits of his son, and his son wants him right there. I mean, his son even tweeted out, F him, the people that had a problem with him. I'm going to tell you something I should have put in the story that T told me. The swag that he has, the clothes that he's wearing, guess who he's getting them from? He's getting them from Ja. So anything that Ja gets,
listen,
that like Ja gets
smart.
boxes of clothes, and they're the same size. So anything that Ja gets,
so hand me up.
That he's number one, he tosses the Pops, and so Pops is looking fresh every game.
I love it.
Oh, that's great. My final one, I know this is a home team for you. You know all about the Bay Area very well. The team in this series, Warriors, Grizzlies, or the team that's going to advance in this series, obviously the Warriors. Where do you see them, man? Is this can they overwhelm Phoenix? Do you see them as returning to the championship stage? Just where is Golden State right now in your eyes?
Oh, they certainly have the potential to, but they have to be more consistent. Their starts in this series have been really, really poor. They're not going to have that same margin of error, assuming that they play Phoenix. Phoenix also has some size that they don't, you know, with Ayton, you know, with Bismack, with JaVale McGee. The Warriors' tallest player right now is 6'9". They have a 6'11" guy, but he's a shooter. So they have nothing on the inside. They're very, very perimeter oriented, but their perimeter oriented is special. like good luck trying to guard their guys. And then Draymond just, you know, takes all of them to a special level as well. So if it's Phoenix and Golden State, man, get your popcorn ready. That's going to be an amazing series. You know, Chris Paul and Steph always have this amazing stuff together. And, you know, there's still probably some bad blood from Chris's Clipper days as well. And so there's that series, man. I don't know that who could win that. I could see it going 7. But the one thing that the Suns have that I would assume they would try to exploit, which Memphis had some success in it in the last game, is using that size, and they got a lot of it.
Hey, before we let you go, man, we've devoted a lot of conversation the last couple of days to the MVP conversation, and not the conversation that we've had all season about who's in the MVP conversation, but the conversation in reaction to the news that Nikola Jokic would go back-to-back, and the negative response it's received from some quarters, people who thought it should have been Joel Embiid, and that there was some injustice committed. Just generally, what do you think about the reaction over the past few days to Nikola Jokic going back-to-back and Embiid being denied for a second straight year?
I'm going to be totally on outside of both of them, said why didn't Booker get more love? When are we going to start respecting wins again? Like, I love these great stats that these guys are putting up, but the Suns went 64-18. They won 64 games. And people will say, well, Embiid was without some guys and Joker was without some guys. Well, Chris Paul didn't play all the games. DeAndre Ayton didn't play all the games. So I think, why isn't Booker talked about? Why isn't winning rewarded? Those teams, the Suns were 8 games ahead of the team with the second best record, Memphis. And so I remember my early years of voting, we put more emphasis on teams that won and who were the stars of this team. And now we're in an age where, you know, we just talk about scoring and maybe even not talk about guys being two-way or being great defensively. But ultimately, man, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I think Magic Johnson's the GOAT. And I know I'm probably pissing off Magic and Michael and LeBron fans. Like, so, you know, it is what it is, but I'm more of a person that puts an emphasis on winning. So I'm kind of wondering why Booker didn't get more love, or at least top 3 love.
Well, he may end up with Finals MVP, which
is better than
believe
the
is
regular
the more.
one.
Mike, you didn't hear him, Michael? You didn't hear him, Michael?
He said,
you didn't hear it?
What did he
Finals
say?
MVP is the best award.
There you go. There you go.
Do you feel like
okay?
Hold on. Bonus conversation.
And we will tease that out.
Bonus
we will
coverage.
tease that out.
Is it
when we drink together? When we drink together that great wine you gave me. We will toast to that.
Well,
because
wait.
I couldn't agree
We up
with
against
you
the
more.
clock. We up against the clock. I just want clarity. Is it more prestigious or just better because it comes when you're getting the ultimate thing, which is a team championship? Or do you find it to be more prestigious an award?
I remember when Chauncey Billups won MVP, he said, I'm MVP for the entire summer now. I'm MVP of the league for the entire summer. I got MVP of the finals, and I got MVP, and I got a chip. I don't know about you, but that chip is much more prettier than that regular season award. The Warriors went 73-9. They ain't win the championship. I'm sure they'd rather have the championship than that 73-9. It's ultimately about getting them rings, baby. It's about getting those rings.
We will leave it there.
We don't. How many times was Michael Jordan MVP of the league? How many times? You don't know, but you know how many times he won a championship.
Yeah, no doubt.
Tells you
they
what's
usually
more
go
important.
hand in hand, but they usually go hand in hand. Usually the all-time greats have multiple MVPs, at minimum one. But that rarefied air of Magic, Bird,
Joker if he'd
Michael.
rather trade that trophy in for a championship.
Oh, I'm sure he would.
Yeah.
But hopefully that isn't mutually exclusive. Hopefully he's not a guy that just goes down as a 2-time MVP with no ring to show for it. Most of the people on that list, they have both. They have regular season MVP and eventually they got finals MVP. For as you talked about with Devin Booker, being the best player on the best team. You're the best, Marc J. Spears. We appreciate you, brother. Love you. Thank you.
Marc
Michael
Spears.
Holly definitely loves you.
The jacket game is sweet, boy. Y'all got good money.
Yeah,
Never
right.
gave them brothers.
This was a hookup. This is a hookup. This is from John Morant's hand-me-ups.
Oh, okay.
T. Morant. Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.